Hey guys, thanks for watching Nerf Socom modifications. I'm Adam, and today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to install the Orange ModWorks Massacre kit for the Raider CS-35. They came out with these. I just got this one in. It's polycarbonate, so it's not like the stage 1 and 2, where the stage 1 and 2 is metal. This is polycarbonate. There's an advantage of having polycarbonate over metal because it's lighter and it's smoother. Still much stronger than the stock plastic parts because these are polycarbonate and they're not going to break on you. So I would recommend these over the metal anyway. I'll give you a breakdown of the parts in 1 minute. Okay, let's right away get into installing it. Before taking the screws out of your gun, you have to remove all the attachments and magazines. I've seen a couple videos that say you need to remove this. You don't. That's not necessary to modify this gun to take it apart. So let's unscrew it now. Okay, now that you have your gun unscrewed, first you want to remove the grips here, and then you want to remove the back plate here, and now you can take the rest apart. You'll notice when I take mine apart, in 1 second, there we go. Okay, you'll notice that I have Orange ModWorks Stage 1 in here already installed, which is the spring and this piece here, as well as the back plate here. Take that out. And this is just Stage 1 here, and I'm going to just replace that with a polycarbonate kit, and to do that I need to, and you will need to as well, unscrew these 4 screws here, or loosen them, not unscrew them. Okay, now that I have these 4 screws loosened, I'm going to take these out. What you'll see when you're installing this, if you're installing it without, or if you're not upgrading, if you're just installing it from the stock version, you're going to see basically this same exact piece but plastic. And you just remove that, put that to the side, move this, put that to the side, and you want this piece. So next, you'll see I have this also, and that's from Stage 1 kit, and the polycarbonate Massacre kit comes with that as well. So you'll see here, the only thing we need from this, or there might be more than one thing. No, there's only one thing that we'll need from this, and that is this rod here. So you need to unscrew this screw here on the edge. And then this will come off with the rod right there, and you can put this to the side. So now we are ready to open the other kits, so I'll show you that. I'll break it down real quick for you. Okay, so you have this right here. It's the same thing, just a good replacement. And once you open this little bag here, you're gonna have your plunger tube, which goes on the back of here. You're gonna have your 6 kg spring. You're gonna have your sled. You have some silicone grease, a new O-ring, and then in this little bag, you're going to have your reinforcement plate, your catch, 2 catch springs, and you're going to have 2 stickers. Additionally, you're going to have a pin, so you can attach the bolt sled to this plunger tube. And you're going to have a little instruction manual. Mine's a little bent, but yours won't be. And you will need this if you're installing it without this video. So from there we can get to installing this. It gives you a ton of silicone grease. You can use this on several guns. I have an opened one here, so I'm not going to use this because it's not opened. I've used this on maybe 5 guns already, and I still have more to go. So they give you a lot with a lot to spare. So put your O-ring on here, and next you can put this on. You can grease this on right here with the silicone grease. There we go. And you can put a lot on. Because it's a new O-ring, it's going to come dry. So you can put a lot on. Okay. And we're done with that. Now, put our plunger tube on. And just get that grease throughout the entire thing. Now we want to install the bolt sled itself. So the way you do this, you can just copy this piece if you don't know how. You just go right through here. And this is too far on, so I can bring it back a little. Right here, just like that. You can just see they look identical. So now you put your pin in. Sometimes there's 2 different sides. One that's like it has bumps on it, but this one looks even on each side. If it does have bumps on it, you put the side with the bumps on it afterwards. I mean, it goes on the outside. Now, I've had trouble in the past with these pins, but this one goes in fine, as you see. And there we go. So it's all the way in there. This piece is staying together, and it comes forward and fits in there just like it should. Okay. So now we want to install this piece, and if you look before, you can see that it goes just like this on the gun. So you want to just install it right here, so that when you put it in, it's going to face down so the handle can go in there. So now you're going to install it just like this. There I have it. It's all in. Another good thing about this is if you are afraid to drill your air restrictors out of the plastic that comes on the Nerf one, if you get the polycarb, the Massacre kit, you don't need to drill anything out. So that's really helpful. So now let's just put it back in. It just goes in straightforward. In fact, you can put this in ahead of the rest, because sometimes I have trouble putting this on. So normally I separate them, put this on all the way, and then slide this under like that. And it goes on just fine. I'll tighten these screws. Now we want to install this here. And one note, I did actually put the sticker on earlier. It's nice to have the sticker on there. I probably shouldn't have put it there. I probably put it somewhere else on the gun. But it's nice to have it just because it's not a plain Nerf gun. It's modified after you do that. You put this on, really easy. Just stick it on right there. And watch for the spring to fly, because it will. Normally, actually, I put this on first and then put the spring on. I'm not going to compress the spring in yet, because I'm going to do that afterwards. Now you put the spring right in there. You don't need to push it in all the way yet, because then you're going to be under tension. Next, you don't need to do this yet. You can do this afterwards, or after you screw the rest of the gun back together. But you want to put this plate in here. The first few times I was putting the plates in the guns, I had trouble finding exactly which way it went in, but now it's pretty easy to figure out. Notice that this spring here tends to be the most difficult spring in a Nerf gun to put or to keep on. This is probably the more difficult gun of the CS series to put together because of this here is always flying out on me. This spring I've almost lost a few times. In case you lose it, in case it flies out, it's going to most likely fly forward, so look in front of the gun if you lose it. And if you do lose it, you can see here that these springs are very similar. Orange ModWorks is here, their catch spring. So if you do lose the spring, you could probably just use the Orange ModWorks, but it's probably best to just keep the spring that's with it. So I'll put that in there. It goes forward just as you see here. Put this trigger spring in there. Don't forget to put your 2 attachment catches on for the rail. Okay, so now's the hard part. What you want to do is, normally this plastic piece goes in front of the sled itself like this, and in fact that's how it's supposed to work. But I tend to have trouble when I try to bring this forward and keep this compressed this way. It tends to fly out on me. So what I do is I keep it right in front of there, and normally when the first time I prime the gun or cock the gun, then it'll lock into place for me. So now that we have that together, I can push the catch down. So you want to hold this down. What I normally do is stick my thumb through the spring area and hold it down right there, and my attachment catch just fell off. I'll stick that back on. And now we'll just put this other side on. And notice here that there's a hole right here. You can see it right there, and it sticks out and it goes in there, and that is always a big pain because normally I put it on with the top first and then it doesn't go on. So with this one I put it on the bottom first so I can get that straight down into there so it won't be in the way. So once you have it together just like I do now, you want to first put the spring in the rest of the way. You can see I'm doing that this way. Normally I don't have that much trouble with it. You can always do this after you put this first screw in. I like to put this screw in right here first, so it holds down the catch and I won't have to deal with that. You can also put the one right under here and it'll support that as well. So now I just want to get this in here, and you can normally just do this. You can also push this in before you put the gun together, but I always find it easier to do it afterwards, so now it's together. What I like to do is, I already have this plate in here. I like to put this on and just make sure it cocks, and I just cocked it partially. And I only cock it partially like that so I know that the gun is not gonna get stuck, because sometimes you're gonna screw the gun all together and then you can't cock it because something didn't come together right, so you have to unscrew the gun again. So normally after I get the shells together and one screw near the catch, I'll just cock it a little bit just to make sure it works, and it does. So now I'm gonna screw the rest of the gun back together. Now that I have it together, I'm just gonna screw it. Okay, done screwing it together. Let's see what it does. Okay guys, I'm outside testing this Raider CS-35 with the Orange ModWorks Massacre kit. One thing you need to note, if you look at my grip here, you see that the grip doesn't extend all the way to the end here, which means my rod is a little bit bent. And I've had this gun for maybe, could possibly be a year already, so the rod is weaker than it would be on a new gun. So I might have less performance. It may take me maybe harder to cock because I have to pull it back further. So if I double cock, that's just because this gun and the rod is bent. I have the 6 kg in here, so let's just shoot it. Okay guys, now the Raider kit is a little less effective than you'd expect with any other orange mod kits, just because I think the internals, especially this rod here, is a little weaker. So all of our darts clustered around 50 feet. We got some that went way further. This went about 60 or 75 feet. But since most of them clustered here, I'm just gonna say most of the consistencies here. You might have better results than I did. Normally, if you cock it a lot harder, you'll get the dart further back into the plunger tube, into the plunger, and it'll allow it to shoot further. Overall, it does slam fire, so that's still good. But I'd say if you're gonna get an Orange Mod Works Massacre kit, get it for the Recon, the Alpha Trooper, the Long Strike, because the Raider doesn't seem quite as strong. But I would definitely recommend it if you have the Raider. You can check the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.